What if you have never actually seen the world? Take a moment. Look around the room you are sitting in right now. You see the light dancing on the surfaces of objects, the textures of the fabric, the depth of the shadows. It feels as though you are a passive observer, a camera capturing a reality that exists out there, independent of you. But what if that is the greatest illusion of all? What if your eyes are not windows through which you view the world, but projectors casting the very reality you believe you are merely discovering? Think about the darkness. Inside your skull, where your brain resides, there is absolute, crushing silence and pitch-black void. There is no light in there, no color, no sound. There are only electrical pulses, chemical storms, and rhythmic firing of neurons. And yet from that dark, silent chamber, you experience a world of vibrant sunsets, the laughter of a loved one, and the vast, shimmering expanse of the stars. How does the dark find light? How does the silence find music? The truth is, the brain doesn't see. It dreams a world into existence and then checks that dream against the data it receives. We have been taught that we are small, fragile beings trapped inside a body, looking out at a giant, intimidating universe. But the bridge between the observer and the observed is much shorter than you think. In fact, the bridge is you. You are not just in the universe. The universe is being rendered, moment by moment, within the cinema of your consciousness. Close your eyes for a second. Even now, the world doesn't truly vanish. It waits in the wings of your mind. When you open them, you aren't taking in the room. You are projecting your expectations, your memories, and your biological limitations onto a field of infinite potential. You are the director, the light source, and the audience all at once. And until you realize that you are the one holding the film reel, you will always feel like a victim of the movie. Consider the way a master painter looks at a canvas. They don't see a blank space. They see the potential of 1,000 different worlds. Your consciousness is that painter. Every morning when you wake up, you begin to project your personal history onto the blank canvas of the present moment. If you carry bitterness, the world appears sharp and cold. If you carry love, the world appears soft and inviting. The world hasn't changed. The projector has. Science tells us that our eyes only perceive a tiny, infinitesimal fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. We are effectively blind to 99% of what is actually happening around us. We live in a sliver of reality, a narrow band of visible light. But we don't see that sliver as a limitation. We see it as the total truth. We mistake our narrow projection for the entire theater. We are like someone looking through a keyhole and claiming they have seen the entire palace. Think about the observer effect in quantum physics. The very act of looking at a particle changes its behavior. It shifts from a wave of infinite possibilities into a single, localized point of matter simply because it was witnessed. If the gaze of a scientist can alter the behavior of an electron, what is your gaze doing to the fabric of your daily life? You are not a neutral witness. Your attention is an energetic beam. Wherever you point your eyes, you are collapsing the infinite maybe into a definite is. This is why two people can walk down the same street at the same time and inhabit two completely different universes. One sees a city of decay, danger, and isolation. The other sees a city of history, hidden beauty, and human connection. They are looking at the same physical data, but their projectors are running different films. One is projecting fear, the other is projecting curiosity. And because the brain is designed to seek consistency, it will find exactly what it expects to see. We are often told that seeing is believing, but the deeper spiritual truth is that believing is seeing. Your beliefs are the filters placed over the lens of your projector. If you believe the world is a hostile place, your brain will subconsciously scan for threats, magnifying every frown and ignoring every smile. You will literally see a hostile world because that is the only movie your projector is allowed to play. You are not trapped in a world you dislike. You are trapped in a perspective you haven't questioned. Take a deep breath and feel the weight of that responsibility. It is both terrifying and the ultimate liberation. If the world you see is a projection, it means you are no longer a prisoner of circumstance. You are the architect of the experience. The external world is a mirror, reflecting the internal state of the projector. If the image on the screen is blurry or painful, you don't go to the screen and try to rub the image away. You go back to the booth. You change the lens. You clean the film. But how did we get here? How did we become so convinced that the world is outside of us? It began the moment we were taught to name things. As children, we didn't see trees or clouds or enemies. We saw a swirling, magical dance of light and energy. We were part of the flow. But then, we were given labels. We were told this is a chair, that is a stranger, this is your body. We began to categorize the projection. By naming the world, we began to distance ourselves from it. We built a wall of concepts between our eyes and reality. We stopped seeing the thing itself and started seeing our idea of the thing. This is the hidden trap. We are no longer interacting with life. We are interacting with our mental map of life. And the map is not the territory. The map is a flat, pale imitation of the vast, multidimensional territory of the soul. Think about your own identity. The I that you think you are. Is that not also a projection? You have a story about who you are, your successes, your failures, your traumas, and your dreams. You project this character onto the screen of every interaction you have. When you meet someone, you aren't just two people meeting. You are two projectors casting two complicated movies onto each other, hoping the plots align. Most of our conflicts arise because we are trying to force someone else to play a role in our movie, while they are trying to cast us in theirs. We get angry when they don't follow the script we've written for them. But they aren't even seeing our movie. They are busy watching their own. We are all living in private cinemas, wondering why the rest of the world is so wrong. The realization that everyone is their own projector is the beginning of true compassion. Now, imagine what happens when you stop projecting for a moment. Imagine the stillness that occurs when the film reel stops spinning. This is what the ancients called the void or pure awareness. It is the state where the projector is on, the light is shining, but there is no film in the way. There is just pure, unadulterated light hitting the screen. In this state, there is no you and no world. There is only the occurrence, only the being. This is the space where miracles happen. When you clear the filters of the past and the anxieties of the future, you allow the light of consciousness to shine purely onto the present moment. You begin to see the suchness of things, the extraordinary beauty of a single leaf, the profound depth in a stranger's eyes, the vibrant energy humming in the air. You realize that you aren't just projecting a world. You are the light that makes the world possible. But the ego is a persistent projectionist. It wants to keep the movie going at all costs. It fears the silence of the empty screen. It would rather watch a tragedy or a horror film than watch nothing at all. The ego thrives on the drama of the projection. It tells you, you need this person to love you, or you need this much money to be safe. These are just plot points. They aren't the truth of your existence. They are just shadows dancing on the wall of the cave. To wake up is to realize that you are the light, not the shadows. You have spent your whole life staring at the screen, crying at the sad parts and cheering at the happy parts, completely forgetting that you are the one sitting in the booth. You have forgotten that the screen is actually blank. The tragedy didn't happen to you. It happened to the character you projected. The failure didn't break you. It just changed the scenery of the film. What would happen if, starting today, you chose a different film? What if you decided to project abundance instead of lack? This isn't about positive thinking in a superficial way. It is about a fundamental shift in your internal frequency. It is about cleaning the lens of your soul. If you shift your internal state to one of gratitude, you will literally begin to see things to be grateful for that were previously invisible to you. They weren't missing. Your projector just wasn't tuned to their frequency. This is the secret of the masters. They don't try to change the world. They know the world is just a reflection. They change themselves, and the world has no choice but to follow. If you become peace, the world you project becomes peaceful. If you become love, you will see love reflected in every face you meet. The world is a perfect mirror. It cannot give you what you want. It can only give you what you are. Consider the way a modern neuroscientist describes the brain. It is often called a prediction machine. It doesn't wait for information to arrive from the outside world to tell it what is happening. Instead, it is constantly generating a proactive model of what it expects to see. When you walk into your kitchen, your brain doesn't painstakingly analyze every photon of light to identify the refrigerator. It already has a refrigerator file loaded and ready. It projects that image onto the visual field, and only if the data doesn't match, say, if the refrigerator has been moved, does the brain bother to update the projection. We are, in a very literal sense, living in a controlled hallucination. This is why we often miss the obvious. Have you ever looked for your keys while holding them in your hand? Your projector was running the "I have lost my keys" film so convincingly that the physical reality of the keys in your palm couldn't break through the narrative. The projection was stronger than the presence. This mechanism is what allows us to navigate a complex world without being overwhelmed, but it is also what keeps us stuck in repetitive cycles of emotion and behavior. If your internal model of the world is built on a foundation of not being enough, your projector will subtly edit out every compliment, every success, and every moment of grace. It will highlight every criticism and every mistake to keep the movie consistent. Think about the concept of the shadow, as Carl Jung described it. The parts of ourselves that we cannot accept, our anger, our greed, our hidden desires, don't just disappear. They are pushed into the dark corners of the projection booth. But because the light of consciousness must shine through everything, these hidden parts are projected onto the people around us. When you feel an intense, irrational dislike for someone you barely know, ask yourself, what are they reflecting back to me? Often, the villains in our movie are just the actors playing out the parts of ourselves we refuse to own. We see our own selfishness in our neighbor. We see our own insecurity in our boss. We are fighting with our own shadows on the screen, wondering why the characters won't change. But the screen is neutral. The screen is innocent. It is simply a surface for the play of light. If you want to change the villains in your life, you must stop trying to rewrite their characters and start looking at the film you are feeding into the projector. You must integrate the shadow. You must bring those hidden parts into the light so they no longer need to be projected out there. Take a deep breath and feel the space between your thoughts. In that space, the projector is silent. In that space, you are not a judge or a victim or a hero. You are the stillness that allows the movie to happen. This stillness is your true nature. It is the I am that exists before the I am this or I am that. We have become so addicted to the movie that we have forgotten the stillness. We have mistaken the drama for the life. We spend our energy trying to fix the projection, trying to change our appearance, our status, our partners, our environments, all while the projector remains untouched. It is like trying to change the color of the ocean by painting the waves. The ancients referred to this world as Maya, often translated as illusion. But it isn't that the world doesn't exist. It's that the world isn't what it appears to be. It is a play of light and shadow, a cosmic dance designed for the experience of the observer. When you realize it is a dance, you stop taking the tragedy so seriously. You begin to appreciate the artistry of the projection. Think about a time you were completely immersed in a film at a theater. You were crying, your heart was racing, your palms were sweating. For those 2 hours, the projection was your entire reality. But then the lights came up. You realized you were just sitting in a velvet chair, and the tragedy was just light passing through a strip of celluloid. Awakening is the lights coming up in the theater of your life. It doesn't mean the movie stops. It just means you no longer believe the movie is who you are. You can watch the sad scenes with a sense of peace, knowing they are part of a larger story. You can watch the scary scenes without terror, knowing the screen cannot be harmed by the fire it displays. This is the shift from camera to projector. A camera is a passive victim of the light. If the light is harsh, the camera is washed out. If the room is dark, the camera sees nothing. But a projector brings the light. It defines the scene. It holds the power to change the narrative from within. How do we begin to master our projection? It starts with the observer breath. Most of the time, we are lost in the image. We are nose to the screen, reacting to every flicker. To breathe as an observer is to take a metaphorical step back. It is to move from the front row of the theater back into the projection booth. In the booth, there is a sense of detachment, but not a lack of care. It is a loving witness. From here, you can see the thoughts as they arrive. You see the fear film trying to slide into the slot. You see the judgment reel ready to spin. And for the first time, you have a choice. You can say, no, not that one today. Let's try the curiosity reel. Let's try the compassion reel. This is the birth of true free will. Most people have no free will because they are simply reacting to the projection they have been handed by their parents, their culture, and their past traumas. They are on autoplay. To have free will is to be the conscious operator of the projector. Think about the collective projection we call society. We are billions of projectors, all casting our personal movies onto the same shared screen. We agree on certain plots, the value of money, the definition of success, the borders of countries. These are collective hallucinations that become real only because we all project them simultaneously. If enough of us change our internal films, the collective projection must change. We are told that the world is a dark and dangerous place, and because we believe it, we project it. We build walls, we hoard resources, we treat others with suspicion. And the mirror of reality reflects that back to us, confirming our fears. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy on a global scale. But imagine if we began to project a different possibility. Imagine if we looked at the world not as a collection of separate, competing objects, but as a single, interconnected web of life. Imagine if our eyes projected the inherent divinity in every person we met. The screen of the world would begin to glow with a different light. The reality of war and scarcity would begin to flicker and fade, replaced by a projection of cooperation and abundance. You might think, I am just one person. What does my little projector matter? But in the quantum reality, there is no small or large. Every part contains the whole. Your personal projection is a vital thread in the tapestry of the universe. When you heal your own vision, you are healing a piece of the collective sight. When you find peace within your own booth, you radiate that peace onto the shared screen. Take a moment to look at your hands. Feel the energy humming in your fingertips. Even your body is a projection of your consciousness. Your cells are listening to the narrative you tell yourself. If you project a movie of sickness and decay, your biology responds to that frequency. If you project a movie of vitality and renewal, your cells begin to dance to a different rhythm. The placebo effect is nothing more than the projector momentarily overriding the standard film of illness. When a patient truly believes they are being healed, their projector changes the script. The body, which is the most immediate screen for our consciousness, has no choice but to follow the new instructions. We are walking miracles, held together by the stories we tell ourselves. What story are you telling yourself right now? Is it a story of struggle? Is it a story of someday I will be happy? Those are just films. They are not the truth of who you are. The truth is the light that is reading this, the awareness that is absorbing these words. That light is ancient. That light is infinite. And that light is entirely, perfectly okay. The danger of the projector metaphor is thinking that you have to be good at it. You don't. You don't have to be a master of manifestation or a perfect Zen monk. You just have to realize that you are the projector. The moment you realize it, the grip of the illusion begins to loosen. You can start to play. You can experiment with the lens. You can invite a little more light into the darker scenes. Think about your greatest fear. See it on the screen of your mind. Now look past the screen. Look back into the dark room of the theater. See the beam of light coming from the booth. Follow it back to its source. The fear is just a shape in the light. It has no substance. It cannot touch you. It is a ghost made of photons. When you stop being afraid of the projection loses its power to hurt you. You become the lucid dreamer of your waking life. You know it's a dream, so you can fly. You know it's a movie, so you can enjoy the plot twists. You realize that the obstacles in your path are just scenery you put there to make the story more interesting. Imagine for a moment the space between two frames of film. In a movie theater, the projector flickers at 24 frames per second. Between every image, there is a moment of total darkness, a gap. But your brain, in its hunger for continuity, stitches these fragments together into the illusion of a smooth, moving story. You are doing the same thing with your life. You are stitching together moments of pure, unrelated potential into a narrative of yesterday and tomorrow. You are ignoring the gaps, the moments of absolute stillness, where the movie stops, and choosing instead to believe in the flicker. But it is in those gaps, in the silence between your thoughts, that the truth of the projector resides. To find the projector, you must become interested in the silence. We have been conditioned to fear the dead air. We fill every second with noise, with scrolling, with internal dialogue, because we are terrified of what happens when the movie stops. We fear that if we stop projecting, we will cease to exist. But the opposite is true. When the projection stops, you don't vanish. You expand. You realize that you aren't the character on the screen who is aging, struggling, and chasing ghosts. You are the eternal light that makes the character visible. You are the consciousness that remains when the story is over. Take a deep breath and feel the air entering your lungs. That air is not outside of you. It is the bridge between the world and the self. As you breathe, realize that you are breathing the universe into your internal theater, and as you exhale, you are projecting your essence back onto the world. The boundary between the observer and the observed is a myth. It is a line drawn in water. Think about the concept of the sacred mirror. In ancient spiritual traditions, the world was seen as a divine mirror designed to show the soul its own reflection. If you see beauty in a sunrise, it is only because there is beauty within you capable of recognizing it. If you see chaos in the streets, it is because there is a frequency of chaos within your own field. The projector cannot cast what it does not contain. This is the alchemy of perception. If you want to see a world of peace, you cannot wait for the world to stop fighting. You must find the frequency of peace within yourself and project it so purely that the screen of your reality begins to harmonize with it. This isn't about ignoring the bad parts of the movie. It's about changing your relationship to them. When you know you are the projector, a sad scene becomes a masterpiece of emotional depth rather than a personal catastrophe. You can appreciate the shadows as much as the highlights, because you know that without the shadows, there would be no depth to the image. Think of the great sages who could sit in a prison cell and feel completely free. How is that possible? Their projectors were not tuned to the walls around them. They were tuned to the infinite space within. Their internal movie was so vivid, so anchored in the light of the spirit, that the external world of stone and iron became a transparent, secondary reality. They had mastered the observer breath. They had realized that the eyes are not passive receivers of light, but active emitters of intention. When you look at someone with the intention of seeing their soul, you are literally projecting a frequency that invites their soul to step forward. You are calling forth a different version of them simply by the way you choose to see them. We often talk about finding ourselves, as if we are a lost object hidden somewhere in the world. But you cannot find yourself in the projection. You cannot find the actor by looking at the screen. You find yourself by turning the gaze inward, back toward the source of the light. Stop looking at the movie for a moment. Feel the warmth of the projector bulb in your own heart. Feel the steady, unblinking awareness that has been with you since the moment you were born. That awareness hasn't changed. Your body has changed, your thoughts have changed, your movie has changed, but the you that is watching has remained the same. This is the timeless witness. It is the part of you that is not affected by the drama of the world. It is the part of you that is already enlightened, already whole, and already at peace. It is the part of you that knows the eyes are projectors, and it is waiting for you to remember. Take a deep breath and let go of the need to control the movie. The more you try to grab at the shadows on the screen, the more they elude you. But when you relax back into the booth, the movie begins to take care of itself. The projector knows how to run. The light knows where to go. Your only job is to keep the lens clean. Clean the lens of judgment. Clean the lens of past resentment. Clean the lens of future anxiety. When the lens is clear, the light of the source can shine through you without distortion. And what comes out is a world of such breathtaking beauty and coherence that you will wonder why you ever settled for the small movie of the ego. Think about the quantum field, the soup of subatomic particles that makes up everything. Scientists tell us that these particles exist in a state of superposition until they are observed. This means that until you look at it, the world is a shimmering cloud of every possible outcome. Your gaze is the trigger that forces the universe to choose one reality. If you are projecting fear, the field collapses into a fearful reality. If you are projecting love, the field collapses into a loving reality. You are literally a co-creator of the physical universe. You are not just living in the world. You are dreaming the world into being, one observation at a time. This is the hidden power of humanity. We are the eye of the universe looking back at itself. Through our eyes, the infinite finds form. Through our projections, the void finds meaning. We are the bridge between the unmanifest and the manifest. But we have been sleeping. We have been walking through life like sleepwalkers, unaware that we are holding the remote control. We have been blaming the screen for the movie we are playing. We have been shouting at the characters to change, not realizing they are just reflections of our own internal scripts. Now, imagine waking up in the middle of the theater. You look around and see everyone else still staring at the screen, crying and laughing, totally lost in the illusion. You feel a deep sense of compassion for them. You want to tap them on the shoulder and say, look behind you, it's just a light, you're safe. But you don't have to say a word. All you have to do is turn your own projector toward the light. As you do, your personal screen will start to glow. People will notice. They will see that your movie is different. They will see that you are moving through the world with a grace and a peace they don't understand. They will see that your eyes are projecting something they haven't seen in a long time. They will see hope. They will see presence. They will see the truth. And slowly, one by one, they will start to turn their heads too. They will start to wonder about the source of the light. They will start to realize that their eyes too are projectors. Take a deep breath and feel the power of this realization. You are no longer a victim of the world. You are the author of the experience. The invisible trap has been sprung. The walls of the cave have turned into light. You are free. What if the most important lens of all isn't the one in your skull, but the one in your heart? We have spent so much time discussing the mechanics of the brain, the prediction machine, the neural filters, the cognitive biases that we often forget the energy behind the projector. The brain provides the structure of the film, but the heart provides the color. It provides the warmth, the saturation, and the emotional resonance of everything you see. When your heart is closed, the world looks gray. It looks like a series of mechanical interactions, a cold exchange of utility and survival. But when the heart opens, even the most mundane objects begin to shimmer with a secret life. A cracked sidewalk becomes a testament to resilience. A gray sky becomes a masterpiece of subtle shading. The heart is the aperture of the soul. It determines how much of the infinite light you allow to hit the screen. Think about the old film reels of your past. We all have them: the trauma reel, the betrayal reel, the I'm not good enough reel. These are the dusty, scratched tapes we keep in the back of the booth. And because we are familiar with them, we tend to reach for them whenever the theater gets quiet. We replay the same painful scenes over and over, wondering why the ending never changes. We are trying to find a different resolution in a film that has already been shot. But here is the secret. You don't have to keep those reels in the booth. You are not the archive of your mistakes. You are the light that is currently shining through them. Forgiveness is not something you do for someone else. It is the act of taking an old, distorted film reel and finally setting it aside so that it no longer colors your present projection. It is clearing the path for a new story to begin. Take a deep breath and feel the lightness that comes with that realization. You are not obligated to play the victim movie today. You are not required to project the struggle narrative. Those were just films you watched until you memorized them. You can walk to the back of the booth, open the window, and let the fresh air of the present moment blow the dust away. You are the owner of the cinema. You decide what plays. Now, let's go deeper into the observer breath. This is not just a relaxation technique. It is a recalibration of your entire existence. When you breathe deeply and witness your thoughts without joining them, you are creating the gap. You are stopping the flicker of the 24 frames per second. You are standing in the darkness between the images, where the real exists. In that gap, there is no history. There is no anxiety. There is only the pure, unconditioned potential of the light. In this state, you begin to notice that you are not the one thinking. You are the one listening to the thoughts. You are the silence that allows the sound to be heard. You are the blank screen that allows the movie to be seen. This realization is the death of the ego and the birth of the witness. And from the perspective of the witness, everything is a miracle. The simple fact that isness exists at all becomes a source of overwhelming joy. Consider the way a child looks at the world. A child's projector is still new. It hasn't been cluttered with years of societal scripts and labels. To a child, a cardboard box is a spaceship. A puddle is a gateway to another dimension. They are projecting pure imagination onto the world. They haven't been told what is impossible yet. They are still playing with the light. As we grow up, we are told to be realistic. But what is reality other than a consensus of limited projections? Being realistic is often just a polite way of saying, project the same boring, fearful movie everyone else is watching. The visionaries, the healers, and the explorers of history were the ones who refused to be realistic. They chose to project a world that didn't exist yet, and because they projected it with enough clarity and conviction, the field eventually collapsed into their vision. You have that same power. Right now, in this very moment, you are projecting the version of yourself that is reading these words. But which version is it? Is it the tired version? The skeptical version? Or is it the version that is starting to remember its own divinity? You can shift the dial. You can adjust the focus. You can choose to see yourself not as a human being having a spiritual experience, but as a spiritual being projecting a human experience. Think about the light of the sun. It hits everything equally: the rose, the stone, the trash, the diamond. The sun doesn't judge what it illuminates. It just gives itself away, completely and unconditionally. Your consciousness is that internal sun. It shines on your joy and it shines on your pain. It shines on your beauty and it shines on your shadows. The light itself is never dirty because it touched something dark. The light remains pure. When you realize that your core is this pure, untouchable light, you lose your fear of the dark scenes in the movie. You realize that the darkness on the screen is just a place where the light is being held back to create a shape. It isn't an enemy, it's a part of the composition. You can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, because you know that you are the light that makes the shadow possible. Take a deep breath and feel that invincibility. It is not the invincibility of the ego, which tries to protect itself with walls. It is the invincibility of the light, which cannot be broken, burned, or drowned. You are the observer of the world, and because you are the observer, you are the master of the world. The invisible trap of being a victim of circumstances has vanished. You are the projector. As you move through the rest of your day, try to catch yourself taking pictures. When you feel stressed or reactive, remind yourself, I am not a camera, I am a projector. What am I casting onto this situation? If you see a problem, ask yourself how your internal film is defining that problem. Could you change the genre? Could you turn this tragedy into a mystery? Could you turn this attack into a call for love? The world will try to pull you back into the old way of seeing. It will scream at you that the screen is real and the projector is a fantasy. It will point to the news, to the economy, to the physical pain in your body and say, look, this is reality. You are just a tiny part of it. But you know better now. You have seen the booth. You have felt the warmth of the bulb. You know that the screen is just a mirror of the internal state. And as you change your internal state, watch what happens to the mirror. Watch how people start to treat you differently. Watch how coincidences start to happen with increasing frequency. Watch how the wrong doors start to close and the right doors start to swing wide open. This isn't magic, it's physics. It's the natural result of a projector that has finally found its true focus. The human awakening is nothing more than the collective realization that we are the ones holding the light. We are the architects of the holographic dream. And once we know it, we can stop dreaming of nightmares. We can stop projecting separation and start projecting the fundamental truth of our unity. We can turn the world into a theater of grace. Think about the act of looking itself. We have been taught that the gaze is a one-way street, that light comes into the eye, hits the retina, and sends a signal to the brain. But the ancients and the new physicists suggest something much more radical. They suggest that looking is an act of touching. When you look at a flower, you are not just receiving the image of the flower. You are extending a part of your own consciousness to meet it. You are caressing the object with your attention. In quantum mechanics, this is the fundamental mystery. The wave-particle duality suggests that matter exists as a blur of probability until an observer looks at it. The gaze is the trigger that forces the universe to choose a state. If this is true, then your attention is the most valuable currency in the universe. It is the literal power that stabilizes reality. You are not just seeing a world that is already there. You are holding the world in place with your focus. Take a deep breath and feel the weight of your own gaze. Feel the beam of your attention. Most of us leak our attention everywhere we spray it, like a broken garden hose, onto social media, onto old regrets, onto imaginary future threats. We are wasting our projection power on low-quality films that we don't even want to watch. We are exhausted because we are trying to project 1,000 different movies at once. To master the projector is to learn the art of single-pointed attention. It is to take that scattered beam of light and focus it into a laser. When you focus your entire being on a single thought, a single feeling, or a single moment, the screen of reality begins to bend. This is the secret behind the power of prayer, the power of manifestation, and the power of healing. It is the lens being focused so tightly that the light begins to generate heat. The light begins to create. Consider the concept of the self as a fractal. In a hologram, every tiny piece of the film contains the entire image. If you break a holographic plate into 1,000 pieces, you don't get 1,000 fragments of an image. You get 1,000 tiny, complete versions of the whole. You are a piece of the universal projector. Within you is the blueprint for the entire cosmos. Every time you change your internal state, you are changing a pixel in the universal hologram. We often feel small because we look at the size of the screen and forget the nature of the light. The screen is millions of miles wide. The light is a single point. You are that point. You are the singularity from which your entire known universe expands. Space and time are not things you move through. They are things you project outward so that you can experience the sensation of here and there, now and then. Without the projector, there is no distance. There is only here. There is only now. Think about your relationships as a hall of mirrors. Every person you interact with is a different angle of your own projection. If you find yourself surrounded by people who are angry or unsupportive, don't look for a new group of people. Look for the anger reel in your own booth. Look for the lack of support filter you've accidentally left on the lens. When you change the frequency of your internal broadcast, the people around you will either change their role in your movie, or they will simply fade out of the frame to be replaced by new actors who fit the new script. This is not a metaphor. This is the lived experience of those who have woken up. They move through the world and notice that as they cultivate inner joy, the world conspires to reflect that joy back to them. They find the perfect parking spot. They meet the person they were just thinking about. They receive a windfall just when it's needed. The world isn't doing this for them. The world is them. The projector and the screen have become one. Take a deep breath and feel the boundary of yourself beginning to dissolve. Or do you end and the world begin? If your eyes are projectors, then the light that is hitting the wall across from you is your light. The tree outside your window is being rendered by your consciousness. You are much larger than the skin-encapsulated ego you were told you were. You are the entire theater. You are the seats, the screen, the projector, and the audience. This is the state of non-duality. It is the realization that there is no other. There is only the self, playing a game of hide-and-seek with itself through billions of different projectors. We are like a giant sun that has poked holes in a dark cloth so that it can look at itself from a million different angles. We have forgotten that we are the sun. We have become obsessed with the little pinpricks of light. We call those pinpricks I and everything else not I. But the light is the same. The light in my eyes is the light in your eyes. When we look at each other, we are 2 points of the same infinite awareness recognizing itself. This is why the highest spiritual command is to love your neighbor as yourself. It's not a moral suggestion. It's a description of reality. Your neighbor is yourself, seen through a slightly different lens, from a slightly different seat in the theater. What would happen if you stopped trying to see and simply allowed the light to shine? Most of our stress comes from the effort of doing vision, from the strain of trying to figure everything out, trying to categorize every shape, trying to judge every movement. This is camera mode. In projector mode, there is no strain. You simply be, and the world becomes. You trust the light. You trust the source. Imagine living a life where you no longer feel the need to defend yourself. After all, what can hurt the light? You can pass a shadow through a beam of light, but the light remains untouched. You can project a movie of a great fire, but the screen doesn't get hot. You can project a movie of a great flood, but the screen doesn't get wet. Your true essence is unstainable. It is the sky that remains clear no matter how many clouds pass through it. This is the ultimate freedom. When you know you are the projector, you can finally enjoy the movie. You can feel the sadness of a scene without being destroyed by it. You can feel the thrill of an adventure without being gripped by fear. You are in the world but not of it. You are the witness who knows that the play is just a play. You are the dreamer who has realized they are dreaming. And in that realization, the dream becomes a masterpiece. The colors become more vivid. The random events start to reveal a hidden geometry of meaning. You start to see the code of reality written in the way the wind moves the leaves, in the way a stranger smiles, in the rhythmic pulse of your own heart. Everything becomes a sign. Everything becomes a symphony. You are not a camera recording a tragedy. You are a projector casting a miracle. And it is time to change the film. Consider the editing room of your subconscious mind. We often think of our memories as a fixed archive, a library of events that happened back then, which define who we are now. But in the theater of the projector, memory is not a static recording. It is a live edit. Every time you recall a past event, you are not pulling a file from a shelf. You are reprojecting that scene through the lens of your current state. This is why, when you are in a state of high vibration and joy, your past seems like a series of necessary lessons and beautiful stepping stones. But when you are in a state of depression or fear, that same past looks like a list of failures and wounds. You are literally rewriting the script of your history in every moment. You are the editor in the booth, cutting and splicing the frames of your life to fit the narrative you believe in right now. If you want to change your future, you must first change the way you project your past. You must stop using your history as a weapon against your potential. Most people use their past as the reason why they can't have a future. They say, I can't project abundance because I have a history of lack. But that is like a movie projector saying, I can't play a comedy because the previous reel was a tragedy. The projector doesn't care about the previous reel. It only knows the light that is passing through it now. Take a deep breath and feel the power of the now. This is the only moment where the projector is actually running. The past is a reel that has already been played. The future is a reel that hasn't been loaded yet. You are only ever standing in the flicker of the present frame. When you fully inhabit this frame, you realize that the weight of the past is an illusion. You are holding the weight. The light itself is weightless. You can drop the old script at any second. You don't need a reason. You don't need permission. You just need to change the slide. Think about the concept of time. We view time as a long, straight road we are walking down. But what if time is just the speed at which the projector turns? What if everything, all of history, all of your future possibilities exists simultaneously in the projection room, and your consciousness is simply the light that picks out one sequence at a time? Ancient traditions called this the Akashic field, and modern physics hints at it through the block universe theory. In this view, every moment of your life is a frame that already exists. You are not creating the frames. You are choosing which ones to illuminate. You are navigating through an infinite gallery of maybes. Your frequency, your emotional state, your beliefs, your level of awareness is the coordinate that determines which frame the light hits next. If you are vibrating at the frequency of fear, the light will naturally find the fearful frames in the infinite gallery. If you shift to gratitude, the light will find the graceful frames. You aren't making things happen. You are matching things that already exist. You are tuning the projector to a different channel of reality. This is why the path to awakening is not a path of doing, but a path of being. When you change the who that is watching, the what that is seen changes automatically. Think about the resistance we feel in life. We often feel like we are fighting against the world. We are pushing against obstacles, trying to force people to change, trying to manipulate the screen. But resistance is simply the friction that occurs when the projector is trying to play two different movies at the same time. You are trying to project success, while your internal frequency is still tuned to failure. You are trying to project love, while you are still playing the betrayal reel in the background. This friction creates heat. It creates stress. It creates the feeling of being stuck. But you cannot fix the friction on the screen. You have to go back to the booth and align the light. You have to ensure that your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are all running the same film. When you achieve this coherence, the world stops being a place of struggle and becomes a place of flow. The obstacles don't necessarily vanish, but they stop being obstacles. They become part of the scenery, part of the texture of the masterpiece you are creating. Take a deep breath and feel that coherence. Imagine the beam of your life becoming perfectly clear, perfectly focused. No more double exposures. No more blurry edges. Just the pure, bright projection of your highest intent. Now, look at the other projectors around you. We have spent so much of our human history in competition. We fight over whose movie is right. We kill each other over the plots on the screen. But when you realize that everyone is just a projector trying to make sense of the light, the competition ends. Compassion begins. You realize that the person who is attacking you is simply trapped in a very dark, very scary movie that they don't know how to stop. They aren't an enemy. They are a prisoner of their own projection. When you refuse to play a role in their dark movie, you offer them a way out. By maintaining your own light, by staying focused on your own high vibration projection, you create a static in their film. You show them that another movie is possible. This is how we change the world. Not by fighting the shadows on the screen, but by being such a powerful source of light that the shadows have nowhere to hide. Think about the ultimate audience. Who are you projecting for? Most of us are projecting for them, for our parents, for our peers, for society, for the faceless crowd of the internet. We are trying to cast a movie that we think will get applause. But the applause of the world is just another sound on the screen. It is hollow. It is fleeting. The only audience that matters is the infinite observer within you. The part of you that is not the actor, not the projector, but the silence that witnesses it all. When you project for the sake of the light itself, your life becomes an act of worship. It becomes art for art's sake. You stop caring about the reviews of your life. You stop caring if the movie is a blockbuster or an indie film. You only care if the projection is true. Is your projection honest? Is it aligned with the deepest part of your soul? Or are you playing a pirated copy of someone else's life? We are often so afraid of being wrong that we play the safest, most boring films we can find. We play the safe job movie, the don't make waves movie, the fit-in movie. But you weren't given a projector to play reruns. You were given a projector to cast something that has never been seen before. The universe is hungry for your unique frequency. It is waiting for the specific color that only your soul can provide. If you don't project it, that part of the great symphony will remain silent forever. You have a responsibility to your own light. You have a duty to shine as brightly, as weirdly, and as boldly as you possibly can. Take a deep breath and feel that permission. Permission to be the main character of your own life. Permission to change the genre. Permission to turn the volume up. You are the director. You are the star. And the universal cinema is waiting for your next move. As we reach the end of this reflection, don't look for a conclusion. A movie doesn't end. The light simply returns to the source. The theater of your life will continue to flicker. The scenes will continue to change, and the drama will continue to unfold. But you will never again be fooled by the screen. You will walk out into the world, and you will see the projection for what it is. You will see the cameras of others, and know they are actually projectors. You will see the reality of the world, and know it is a dream. And you will smile because you know the secret. You are the light. The light is in you, and the world is your mirror. Keep the lens clean. Stay in the booth and enjoy the show.